Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Tom's Gadget Garage. In today's episode, we're going to be testing the latest firmware update, version 1.7.0 for the Segway Ninebot Max G2. Now, Segway does state that this update is supposed to improve the downhill stability of the Ninebot Max G2, so today we're definitely going to be putting that to the test. Now, we're going to be doing things a little bit differently with this test compared to previous tests, in that we're going to take a more direct route to the top of South Mountain to save on some mileage, which will allow us to keep a little more juice in the battery so that when we do get to the top, we can go into custom settings of sport mode, adjust the maximum speed to 22 miles an hour, and see if we can push the limits on this scooter going downhill. So, without further delay, let's jump into it. Alright, got to that little steeper section here. We got another one up ahead, but hopefully we can gain some of this speed back, pick up some momentum. Because I am not in the mood for kick scooter mode today. Okay, we're still moving. And it kicked out. It dropped. So now we're going to walk this thing up the mountain, unfortunately. All right, I'm going to go ahead and switch this over to 22 miles an hour now. So we're going to try and go down the hill faster than we normally would. Just confirm it took, yep, 22 miles an hour. All right, 42% battery remaining. We'll head down the mountain and we'll summarize it all once we get there. All right, let's see what speed we can hit here. All right, well, we were able to hit, 24.5 miles an hour without any funky behavior. So we'll see if we can get going a little bit quicker than that. But you can definitely feel the scooter trying to gradually slow us down. You know, in terms of battery performance coming downhill, looks like we're doing pretty good. Looks like we still got 29% in the tank. So we'll see how it, you know, finishes off at the bottom. But, you know, going downhill, the battery performance seems to be improved. Oh, some new potholes from the rains, it looks like. We are still at 29% battery. That's actually pretty amazing. Looks like the regen here, with this automatic braking that it's doing to keep me from going over, you know, 24 miles an hour, is doing a good job keeping juice in the battery. That speed bump always gets me. It blends in with the road. All right, everybody, so that was my testing of firmware 1.7.0 for the Segway Ninebot Max G2. And the biggest difference I can say is battery consumption. It's done a much better job at battery consumption on the way up the mountain, and especially on the way down the mountain. Now, this ride was about 1.5 miles, almost 2 miles shorter than my previous rides, but even at those different benchmark points, I did notice that the battery level was quite a bit higher than it was on previous attempts. So that's definitely an improvement there. With the last 3 firmware updates, Segway has really focused a lot of their efforts on helping prevent riders from going above and beyond, I would say 24.5 miles an hour, to prevent some of that aggressive braking behavior that happens when you're in those overspeed situations. And with 1.7.0, I did notice that it's allowed me to go a little bit faster, especially when I crank up the speed to 22 miles an hour in the app. This time around, I was able to hit 25.3 miles an hour compared to previously, where I was only able to hit about 24.3 miles an hour. So about 1 mile an hour difference. But even though I was going faster, there was no ghost braking or any kind of jarring braking behavior that we saw a few firmware updates ago. So overall, I think it's a great firmware update, especially when it comes to battery. Now, I hope this content was helpful for you. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. And if you'd like to see more of this type of content, consider subscribing to my channel, because I'll be posting regular videos on a weekly basis covering everything from scooters to e-bikes to electric unicycles and product reviews. And as always, thank you so much for tuning into Tom's Gadget Garage. We'll see you next time.